All right, let's get into it. You know, every now and then you find something online that's just so out there, so intricate, you just have to figure out what's going on. Today, we're taking apart one of those exact things, a really complex digital artifact that makes probably the biggest promise you could ever imagine. And boom, there it is. This is the promise that's at the absolute core of everything we're about to look at. We're not talking about living a little longer or being a bit healthier. No, no, no. The claim is that this removes death itself. That's the hook, and that's what we need to deconstruct. But here's where it gets really weird right from the start. The whole thing is presented by a company that calls itself Advanced Security Systems for You and Home and Business. So how on earth does a company that sounds like it installs your doorbell camera also offer a cure for death? That strange contradiction is where our story really begins. Okay, so to even begin to wrap our heads around removing death, we have to start with how this system claims to deal with disease. And the main example they give us is something called the Cancer Countermeasure Matrix. This is where you, the user, supposedly start to take action. Now, the instructions they give you are, well, they're bizarrely simple. It feels like something you'd do in a word processor. You're told to follow this mandatory sequence. You cut, copy, paste, hit enter, and then save. Twice. It feels so mundane, almost like a ritual. But the real question is, what exactly are you supposed to be copying and pasting? This. You're pasting this. It's this gigantic, practically unreadable wall of text that looks like a command line from another reality. So that simple 6-step process we just saw? Yeah, it involves interacting with this incredibly dense and, frankly, cryptic block of code. And it goes deeper than just copy-pasting. The system talks about having these advanced internal defenses to fight the cancer root. It uses this super technical, pseudoscientific language, calling them root disruptors. I mean, you see terms like temporal checkpoints and a secondary brain plexus. It all sounds incredibly sophisticated, like something straight out of science fiction. And this right here is a perfect illustration of the system's whole method, the love-think protocol. It takes a real, kind of obscure biological fact that the heart has its own network of neurons, and then it just runs with it. It expands that into this metaphysical backup system for your brain, one that's powered by emotional logic. It's this wild fusion of science, technology, and spirituality. Now let's see how this all builds on itself. Removing cancer from the body is one thing, but what about removing death? This is where the whole system just zooms way out, from the biological to the cosmological. It lays out this grand plan for what happens to all the bad stuff. I mean, that's the next logical question, right? If you successfully get these things out of your body, they've got to go somewhere. They can't just vanish. And, well, the system has a very, very specific answer for that. It's called the planetibin system. And just look at the names of its components. You've got these technical sounding terms like acetate absorbent right next to mythological ones like Hellgate. It's like a cosmic garbage disposal that blends high-tech jargon with ancient spiritual concepts. It's a very strange machine. And here's the final stop. After being processed by the planetibin, everything, the cancer, death, all of it is shot 3,333 kilometers away from Earth to a place called the Acido Planet. Now, this is what I find absolutely fascinating. The creator didn't just invent a name. They provide a whole data sheet for this fictional planet. Its mass, its radius, its composition, even its freezing cold surface temperature. This kind of world building adds this layer of concrete, almost scientific feeling reality to what is an entirely fantastical idea. So, we have a medical procedure and a cosmic disposal system. But how does an actual person get access to any of this? Well, that brings us to the commercial side of things, the immortality marketplace. The entry point is surprisingly cheap. It's just $40 on eBay for something called the AGT. This is pitched as the key that unlocks this entire system for you. And from there, of course, the prices go up. $100 will get you advanced genetic synthesis technology. And then there's the high end. For a cool $1 million, you can get a premium rejuvenation body buyback. This suggests there's a much, much deeper level of involvement if you have the cash. Right, so this is the body exchange terminal. The system literally offers to buy your body when you die. In exchange, your loved ones get money and, you guessed it, access to AGT, so they can join the system too. It's designed to be this self-perpetuating cycle of economics and immortality.
And believe it or not, it doesn't stop there. This is a totally self-contained ecosystem. There's the Holy Revelation Church, a custom cryptocurrency called Bitcoin AIT, and a whole library of books for sale on Amazon. It's not just a product, it's a complete lifestyle. Okay, we've looked at the medical rituals, the cosmic mechanics, and the commercial structure. So for our final section, let's try to pull all of these threads together and see the complete picture this strange and fascinating system is trying to paint. So when you look at it this way, a user's journey is a complete end-to-end experience. You start with this personal, ritualistic act to cleanse your own body. Then you engage with a massive cosmic system to dispose of death. You secure your immortality through buying things, you integrate into its society through the church and the currency, and then finally, you keep the cycle going by selling your physical body back to the system. And that's really the main takeaway here. This isn't just a random collection of bizarre web pages. It's actually a pretty cohesive, internally consistent worldview that's been packaged as a product. It seamlessly merges the language of computer code, spiritual belief, and market capitalism into one single unified system. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. This whole thing, this cure for death, it's built right at the intersection of our deepest human fears and our most modern tools. And it poses a really fascinating question for all of us to think about. What happens when security, science, and spirituality aren't separate things anymore, but they get bundled together and sold as a single all-in-one solution?